Working lap 115 of the Subway 400 on Fox. Jeff Green with a 1-second lead over Dale Jarrett, Jerry Nadeau, and Ricky Craven battling for third, about 4.5 seconds off the lead. And Ward Burton,
Ward,
has walloped the wall.
Tell you, pancaked it. I think that's one of your favorite
yes,
words.
Yes, it is.
Pancake that bad boy.
Ouch. Hate to see it, but
yeah.
Just run out of racetrack.
That's a pretty good. Well, he's been riding right. I mean, he's been rim riding, and I just thought it was because his tires had gone away, but I think he carried it in there. How about it, Burns? What are they saying?
Hey, DW, I'm down in their pits and asked the crew, and they said that they didn't make any adjustments on that last pit stop, but when Ward got back on the racetrack, he commented that the tire he felt like the tire pressure was too low. That might have been the problem.
It could have been, and boy, I tell you what, when you first get out there on those tires and they've adjusted air down real low, compensate for this hot track, car doesn't drive the same for a while.
And his car had that low air pressure look. It looked like he had the wheels turned, but it just was not turning.
Right, it just kind of wobbled on in there and hit the wall. That's what, when you got the air down to about 12, 14, 15 pounds, what they can get away with here on the left sides and probably 25, 26 on the rights, it's like driving with flat tires till that air builds up.
Jeff Green just hung it out. You could read the whole right side of his car as he worked around Ricky Rudd.
What Ricky Rudd's trying to do right here, he's trying to get back on that lead lap. He's a lap down in that little bit right there.
And I tell you, Jeff Green is going to drive, he's going to be somebody to contend with all year long because he wants to prove he belongs in Winston Cup. You know, he got here once, had to go back and regroup, do the Busch deal, win the championship. He's back again, and this is his best opportunity to capitalize.
When he's not in traffic, we see here on our Sport Vision the Fox tracks where he's actually pulling away a little bit from Dale Jarrett.
Well, Jarrett was good early in the race. You know, he started up there. He chased down Craven and them and got within a couple of car lengths of them, and then he kind of faded. So it looks like his car might be good on the short haul, maybe not so good on the long haul.
You know, I heard after a lot of those pit stops, the adjustments that the teams were having to make is the drivers were complaining about the car being too tight, and that's such a characteristic of Rockingham. As more and more rubber gets laid on this racetrack, the cars turn less and less and less.
4 seconds behind you.
But you take drivers,
smooth, you're doing a good job.
You take drivers like Dale Jarrett, Sterling Marlin, Ricky Rudd, Bobby Labonte. Those are guys that you would anticipate and expect, and Jeff Gordon included, to run well here because they're smooth drivers. They ease the car into the turn. You never see their cars out of shape, and they squeeze that gas pedal down just like it's got a big old egg under it.
All right, let's get a recap, Darrell, on pit stops, beginning with Jeannie.
Well, it is all about tires at Rockingham, Mike, and the number 30 pit stop of Jeff Green, about the Goodyears as well. Matt Kruder, the rear tire carrier, actually fell coming around the car, and they still had a great stop, just tire pressure adjustments. When we talk about the changes in safety, putting helmets on the crew going over the wall, the gentleman holding the sign pole, Greg Tester, took the back of the pole into the head. As I mentioned, this is a new crew for Jeff Green when it comes to the Winston Cup. These guys are going all out. Matt?
Jeannie, Bobby Labonte has fallen to the 27th position. Earlier in the race, Labonte reported in that the 18 car was extremely tight. But Jimmy Maycar's crew chief told him, don't worry about it. Think back to the last 2 spring races here. That's exactly how we started the race. And just be patient. We worked on it, and we got the car better. They finished second and first. Labonte now says, after some adjustments, the car is snappy loose. They made a track bar adjustment on the last stop, guys.
Bobby Labonte's only running about a second ahead of the race leader.
Race leaders. We have a battle for the lead up there with Jeff Green and Dale Jarrett, that 88 car.
Still outside. All clear.
Sails it in there, trying to get under Jeff Green.
Well, they do. They really carry a lot of speed. Once they can run up the hill like that, then let it go all the way to the wall. They carry a lot of speed.
But we saw, talk about speed, Dale Jarrett was 1 mile an hour faster than our leader, Jeff Green, right now. He caught him in a hurry.
And you do that with no brake. You back off the throttle and just let the car sail up to the top of the track. And when it gets up there just about ready to hit that wall, you gas it. And that's what keeps it off the wall.
But look, these guys are running 2 distinct different grooves. Jeff Green up against the wall. Dale Jarrett about the middle of the racetrack right there. Looks like Jeff Green, he's going to be caught behind the lap traffic of his teammate Kevin Harvick, the 29 car. Goes around him on the high side.
Old cagey veteran like Dale Jarrett, if you're going to run high, I'll take the low side. If you want to run low, I'll take the high side.
All right, we're going to look at Dale Jarrett. We're going to look at his RPMs and his miles per hour right here.
You want to see a guy cut? Watch his 7 car behind him on new tires.
See the RPM sweep? Just about 6,800 low RPMs all the way up there. Little fresher tires, a little over 9,000 RPMs. Back down to 6,300. And again, that's down in turn 1 and 2. We talked about it earlier. Off the throttle longer.
Smooth.
Not as many RPMs on the backstretch, Darrell, because as we say, it's shorter distance.
Little Casey had that 7 car. He's got a little bit better tires, and he's looking for a way by those boys.
Dale Jarrett has now led 9 of the last 13 races at Rockingham. Puts a Ford up front. Dale Jarrett leads Jeff Green, Ricky Craven, Sterling Marlin, and Ward Burton in the Subway 400.
The Subway 400 on Fox is brought to you by Singular, the wireless company that supports self-expression nationwide.
Welcome back to Rockingham. Mike Joy with Darrell Waltrip and Larry McReynolds. We're about 1/3 distance in the Subway 400. Dale Jarrett, Jeff Green, Ricky Craven. The top 3 still about 29 cars on the lead lap here at Rockingham.
But they're picking off some of those cars. There's just some of them are just hanging on to the lead lap right now. Bobby Labonte, one of them.
Look from our core cam at the D-shaped front straightaway and that entry into turn 1 as Dale Jarrett tries to put Labonte a lap down.
I believe that's your man,
I think he might be right. Every time I pick him, it doesn't seem like he runs very good. I gotta quit picking on that poor guy.
It's only 1/3
distance. On the
distance.
racetrack, just run your race.
It's early yet.
You heard the voice right there. That's not Todd Parrott. Remember, Dale Jarrett, Jimmy Elledge now his crew chief. Todd Parrott moving to general manager, telling Dale Jarrett, be smooth, be smooth. 2 key words here.
And, oh, look out here.
Everybody go for the hole.
That won't work. 4 wide will not work at Rockingham. We have a lot of grooves, but not 4 wide.
That's when you hear 3 wide, 4 wide, caution. You okay? Hey, let me ask you this. Jimmy Eldridge, he's crew chief off of the winning car here last year, isn't he?
Well, off the winning group.
Team, that's right.
Yeah, Bobby Hamilton,
So,
he came from the 55 car.
He might know something.
Never know.
For more, here's Matt.
Well, DW, what he knows is the fact that he brought his qualifying setup because DJ has struggled here a little bit in qualifying, so they put the 55's qualifying setup under the 88. Remember, he was 37th in practice, ended up qualifying 4th, but they're back the old tried and true 88 race setup. They felt like it was very stout in happy hour. They tried one thing just to A-B, and they went back to their original setup. Felt like they had a good car for today.
Jeff Gordon battling his Hendrick teammate Jerry Nadeau for 11th place with Bobby Hamilton and John Andretti right there.
That's when you see those crew chiefs walking around with those briefcases. That's what they got all tucked away in there, is those good notes.
I want to give a call to John Andretti, the 43 car. It started back in 35th position, and he's up here battling now Jerry Nadeau. This will be for the 12th position. They came here and tested, was very happy with their test. He was fastest in practice yesterday, but Greg Stedman told me, Larry, we were a victim of overdriving the race car Friday in qualifying. It will not work here.
More on the car right behind Andretti. Here's Dick.
Now the 25 car, Jerry Nadeau, has been dropping steadily since the last round of pit stops, Mike. They tried to put more bite in it for him to try to tighten the car up. Unfortunately, he said that just didn't make any difference. The car is just loose. It is a handful. Meanwhile, Darrell, bad news on your brother Mikey. Not only is he running in the back, when he came down pit road a while back, he was pushing water. Steve Beal said it's not running hot, but when he runs it slow, water's coming out. Not a good sign. To Steve.
Well, Dick, Sterling Marlin pitted on lap 106. They changed 4 tires, dropped the air pressure half a pound in all 4 tires. Team manager Tony Glover telling Sterling, hey, just be patient. You're the fastest car on the racetrack right now, and the lap times back that up.
That's true, Steve. Right now, he is the only car under 26 seconds per lap.
Let's look at Sterling Marlin's. We look at everybody's miles per hour and tachometer. Here you see falls down to about 6,400. 6,300. Coming down the backstretch right here. Over 150 miles an hour, shorter backstretch, about 87, 8,800. You see the interval, it's shrinking just a little bit, ever so slightly. But he's right here in lap traffic, which certainly hurts his chances right now of making big gains.
When that tack's falling down that much, just think about it. They qualified 156 miles an hour here. And you're racing at probably around 150 miles an hour, 6 mile an hour slower.
Second place battle, Ricky Craven back on the move.
TIDE.
Now he has fresher tires than Jeff Green by several laps.
Going into one, watch for smoke, clear high.
88.
Trouble on the leader, Dale Jarrett.
One outside.
Is up in smoke.
Caution is on the Speedway.
Clear low.
She blew up. Just heard him say something happened to it.
There you see, no RPMs, no miles per hour. I believe his day is over.
Yep. Some of the big teams' biggest fears is just struck.
Got oil pressure and everything, but it's vibrating.
See the smoke coming through there. That's where the shifter boot is right there, and a lot of smoke coming out the back of that car. He said he has oil pressure, but he said it was vibrating, and that's not a good sign.
No, it's broken something inside the engine. It could be any number of things. I'm not going to speculate because I got in trouble doing that. I'm just going to say something inside the engine broke.
You'll get another letter.
I'll get another bad letter.
Remember, this is the first weekend of the one-engine rule in Winston Cup, which means the engine a team starts practice with, they have to use in qualifying, final practice, and the race.
One of the things that I can hear these engines, I hear these cars go by. These guys haven't lightened up on these engines at all. They're turning them 9 grand, which is a lot of RPM.
Dale Jarrett right at the start-finish line. Smoke starting to come out the back of it. Sure, the suspect of putting oil down. That's the reason we are under caution.
Jeannie?
Well, Jeff Green in the 30 car saying that he is still tight going into the corner, so they will make a track bar adjustment, 1 round down, and of course 4 new tires and fill them up on fuel. Jeff Green ready to go out and take advantage of this window that's opened up. Dick?
Jeff Gordon is in his pit as well for a 4-tire change. Here's bad news for everybody else. Just before he came in, he said it's a good car. They've just taken 1 round out of it. It's a little bit pushy in the middle, and another good flawless pit stop by his crew. To Steve.
Well, Dick, Ricky Craven said he's just a little bit tight. They made an air pressure adjustment. He's off pit road.
Craven's tires were 6 laps fresher than Jeff Green's. I hate saying several when we can get the number, and Lynn Jeffers had it, so he had 6 lap better tires during that green flag run. Let's listen to the replay from Dale Jarrett's in-car. You'll hear that engine going sour and the radio.
Inside, 1 outside. I'm getting out the motor. Clear low.
Spotter's still working with him.
Outside.
Even as he's coming to pit road, because you're running slow, you can really get in trouble when you're running that much slower than everybody else.
Dale Jarrett is out of the car after leading this race.